Hi, everybody, and welcome to Conversations with Dr. Jay Harness. I'm your host, Jay Harness, and it's a real treat to have you here today and to have a very special guest. Christy Florio is a passionate advocate for holistic healing, blending over a decade of experience as a yoga instructor with a personal journey of resilience and empowerment. She specializes in vinyasa and therapeutic yoga with advanced training in yoga for cancer recovery. Her first book, now this book has got quite a title, but her first book is called For the Love of Jugs, a breastie's guide creating grace and ease through your breast cancer journey, was written with love, humor, and authenticity. Her goal is to inspire women to reclaim their power and navigate their cancer journey with grace, strength, and ease. Well, Christy, what a treat to have you here today. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I am beyond honored to be here with you and that you trust me to have this beautiful conversation that I know we're going to get ready to have with all of your audience and community. So thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my treat. It's my privilege, really.
Mm.
Well, let's go way back a little bit. Let's go back to when you first got interested in athletics and particularly your gravitation into yoga. Why don't we share with everybody that story?
Sure, sure. So I was a dancer. I started dancing when I was about 6 years old and competitively through when I was probably about 17 or 18. And so movement was very much just a part of my life. And when I stopped dancing, I continued with going to the gym and strength training and cardio and just living a very active life. Fast forward quite a few years, I ended up getting certified in yoga and just immediately fell in love with yoga. I also taught Pilates for a little while, and I'm diving back into that a little bit now. But really, just the foundation of yoga, the philosophy of yoga, not only the movement but everything else is just runs deep within me. So yeah, so I got my 200-hour yoga certification back in 2012.
Okay,
So
well,
yeah.
fantastic. And then have you been teaching yoga prior to your breast cancer diagnosis? Were you regularly teaching yoga? What was your career like?
Yeah. So I teach probably about, back then I was probably teaching about 4 or 5 times a week. And then had a couple different private sessions as well and private clients. And so teaching, but then I was also practicing quite a few days a week. And again, just living a very active lifestyle with biking and walking and
Great.
just being outside and doing all of the things. So when I was diagnosed, which was actually in 2020, September of 2020. So we were just coming out of quarantine life, right? And
Yeah.
life was just starting to bloom again. And so even though we were quarantined, I still was moving my body a lot. We have a gym in our garage, so we were able to kind of keep up with that even during COVID. And then when I got diagnosed again, it just kind of was like, okay, time to go back into quarantine
Yeah.
life again
Well,
because I was just
this is
uncertain.
really important. I emphasize this all the time to people, and that is that antecedent history of yours of exercising regularly,
Yeah, yeah.
pre-diagnosis. Right out the door, you have between a 16 to an 18% improved survival based on that part of your history. Well, how were you diagnosed? How was your cancer discovered?
So I was going in for my yearly womanly checkup, and my gynecologist had found the lump. And so even though I was getting ready, because I was 42 at the time, even though I was getting ready to go do a mammogram, she had me pause and got me scheduled in for a diagnostic mammogram and an ultrasound as well. So going through all of the testing and all of the, oh my gosh, could this really be happening? I don't think so. I'm too healthy of a person. There's no way. A couple weeks later, after biopsies and meeting with a breast surgeon, I was diagnosed. So I was diagnosed with triple positive breast cancer.
Yeah, well,
And
let's define that for everybody to make sure
sure,
everybody understands. That means estrogen receptor positive, progesterone receptor positive, but also HER2 new positive, right? And
correct.
we know that that is a very aggressive form of breast cancer. HER2 new positive as well as triple negative are two of the most aggressive forms of breast cancer, which means virtually out the door, you're going to get upfront chemotherapy called neoadjuvant chemotherapy, correct?
Correct. And that's exactly was my protocol. So I went through 6 rounds of chemotherapy and then 1 full year of the Herceptin and Perjeta, which are targeted for what the HER2
Yep.
positive, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. And so I firmly believe that as healthy as I was beforehand, and I still will say that I was a healthy person because just because I got breast cancer doesn't technically mean that I was an unhealthy person. It's just the disease in my body expressed itself and grew and conformed.
Yeah,
But I am grateful that I was as healthy and connected to my body, um, because it definitely helped me throughout the chemotherapy, and I had a double mastectomy as well. So all of
sure.
that definitely helped me in my healing.
Yeah, there's no question. Well, there's good data, in my world of exercise oncology. We've got a little over 3,000 clinical trials, some of which have looked at precisely your kind of case: triple positive breast cancer, neoadjuvant chemotherapy. And there's been noted in some of the studies even a better response to the neoadjuvant chemotherapy with regular exercise, hopefully leading to what we call a complete pathologic response, meaning that the cancer disappears completely in your breast or if the lymph nodes were positive. Was that the case for you?
That was exactly the case. I was really shocked when I went in for the double mastectomy that my breast surgeon came out and said that it was a complete response. So it was beautiful. My body did what it was supposed to do with the chemo. It worked with the chemo to completely eliminate
Yep.
the cancer. So
Yeah,
and
and
no lymph
so
nodes were involved.
yep. So not only were you doing better because you were exercising pre-diagnosis, you not just got put into another category, those who have a complete pathological response. In other words, all the cancer cells in the breast disappear, are automatically into a better prognostic outcome category. So you've got it on the front end and on the back end. So you are really a fortunate person, and you've
Yes.
done
Yeah.
well.
And
You've got reconstructed and you've been able to. So recovering from your surgery went well, including during chemotherapy because of your baseline physical activity.
yeah, I believe that, and I did a lot of meditation. I did a lot of I really love an integrative approach, the Eastern and the Western world. So I did a lot of meditation and I did a lot of guided visualization that helped me as well, and breath work to keep my nervous system regulated, and that also helped in the physical moving of my body, but just for the stress release as well. I focused
Yeah.
on a lot of other things
Plus,
too, which
plus the
helped.
exercise really helps with lowering depression, anxiety,
Mhm.
etc. As I was sharing with you, I was in breast cancer practice for 37 of my 47 years in practice. I would have given anything to have a patient like you. I really would, because I'm sure you recovered beautifully from the surgery and you did better than the average person through your chemotherapy. Well, all of this prompted you to want to write your book, For the Love of
Yes.
Jugs. So
Yes,
tell
for the
us
love of
about,
jugs.
there it is.
There
Absolutely.
she is.
There she
Yes,
is.
I know it's a funny name. There's a story behind the name. My brother-in-law used to always call me Jugs, so there's a funny story. But I wanted to bring light to it. I found in my journey that I really enjoyed writing, and quite a few of my girlfriends had come to me and said, you really should write a book because your journey may help others and how you went through it and your views, and it might really help a lot of your breast cancer sisters in the future. So I took that to heart and I sat down and like I said, it took me just about a couple of years, but I did get it done. And it really is a book that I wrote from my heart to be kind of that girlfriend's guide or what to expect when expecting type of book, but for breast cancer, just to help women create a little bit more ease and a sense of calm in their journey, so that they can go through their journey with grace and feel more empowered in their bodies and not
Oh, that
fearful.
Yeah, no, that's spectacular. I congratulate you on that. And I
Thank you.
think you told me earlier it just came out in February, right?
It did. It did. It came out in February of 2025. And I've heard from so many beautiful people who have breast cancer and didn't. There's a lot of people that have read it that have had other type of disease in their
Yeah.
body, and they said the same thing. A lot of it is very helpful. And when you buy the book and read it, there's actually a breasties meditation guide that you can have emailed to you that has a lot of guided meditations in it as well.
Oh, wow.
Depending on which topic that they're in the book, there's certain meditations in there as well that are in theme with the topic that they're reading.
Wow, that's spectacular. Well, let's just highlight a couple of the key points of the book. Let's pretend we're riding an elevator up to the top of the Empire State Building, and
Yeah.
you're going to tell me on this elevator ride, okay, here are the really key points I want everybody to know about, okay?
Sure, sure. I think the first one is welcome to the Club, right? The club that nobody wants to be in, of understanding that we have two ways to look at a diagnosis like this. You can look at it as fear-based or one that's empowered. And so I kind of walk through that. And then we talk about creating your team, from doctors to your supporters and your loved ones, and asking for help and understanding what it means to be helped, right? And needing the support. Then it goes into a little bit of holistic healing and incorporating that, not picking one or the other, but looking at like we can use the two together to really create a beautiful experience in this, what can be a very tough time. Then we talk about chemo and surgery and radiation and things that, lists that you can do of what you need or what would be helpful for you when going through any of those. And then we talk about body image and learning to love and to trust your body again. And then I won't even say what the last chapter is. It's actually my favorite part. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to
All
give any
right.
spoilers.
All right. Well, fantastic. And tell me, are you continuing to teach and have you focused primarily on cancer patients as we wrap up here?
Yeah. So when I got back to teaching, because I took a little bit of a hiatus when I was going through all of my journey because I needed to focus on myself, I came back really strong in the feeling that I know that my teachings can also help others, with the book too. And so I got additional certifications in yoga for cancer recovery, yoga in the lymphatic system, yoga in the fascia. And now I'm working with a lot of private clients who are going through this. I'm actually doing some things online and creating small groups and doing one-on-one mentorships. So if anybody is interested, they can go over to my website. They actually could go to fortheloveofjugs.com, and that will weave them into my website where they can learn some more
Well, you
about my
beat me to it. I
offerings.
was about to ask you, how do people find your website for the love of jugs.com?
.com, fairly
There.
easy. Been a whirlwind, but a beautiful one. And I've chosen to see the good in it. And I've chosen to continue to love my body and move my body and appreciate my body. And we just had a little hiccup in the road, but we're back.
Wow. Christy Florio, what an absolute privilege it has been to have a conversation with you today. I can't
Thank you.
thank you enough. You're a true inspiration to people out there. I'd also like to invite folks to please join us at cancerfitness.org. At Cancer Fitness, we'll have Christy's video posted there, and we've got other resources there, including written blogs, other videos, other conversations with other truly inspiring people. So As I'm sure you would say, Christy, let's all keep moving together, keep
That's right.
loving each other, and keep our spirits high. Thank you so very much.